price of love got to do with love? Well, on today's case, Ms. McKenzie says everything. She says that the cost of loving Mr. Thomas is just too high and she's tired of paying. She says Mr. Thomas is a disrespectful user with anger issues whose toxic behavior has destroyed their relationship. She's here in my courtroom, ready to cash out and move on. Let's hear their case.
Court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Starr presiding. Your Honor, here's the case of McKenzie versus Thomas.
Thank you very much, Ms. McKenzie, Mr. Thomas. Ms. McKenzie, you are here in court today because you say your fiancé is a disrespectful user. You say Mr. Thomas has a habit of avoiding his responsibilities, which has led you to reconsider even getting married.
Yes, Your Honor.
And Mr. Thomas, you want to prove your commitment and save your relationship. You say most of those problems derive from outside influences, and you believe you can work through those issues.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, Ms. McKenzie, you brought this case. Why are we in court today?
I'm here today to give my fiancé an ultimatum. He either has to reimburse me or I'm leaving him out the altar because he's been using me, he's been disrespectful, and he got anger issues.
And so basically, this relationship you think has run its course because it's time for you to take back you.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, Mr. Thomas, you heard what Ms. McKenzie says. What do you say?
Your Honor, I just want to save our relationship. I love her. I want to fix it. I feel like in relationships, there's always ups and downs, and I feel like we could definitely build a future.
So let's see if there's something left to say, because Ms. McKenzie says there's an ultimatum. Clearly, there have been a lot of issues going on. Why don't you take me back a little bit to how you all met and then what led us to get here today?
Okay. So we met at a photo shoot. He's a photographer. I'm a model. I'm also a singer and veteran. One day he was doing a power shoot.
Meaning a military veteran?
Yes, ma'am, Air
Thank
Force.
you very much for your service. We certainly do appreciate you on behalf of a grateful nation. Go right ahead, ma'am.
So it was a power shoot, and he was going around the room taking photos, and I happened to be one of the models. So he took my picture, and we exchanged information from there.
Mm-hmm. And so you all have been together now for 3 years. You actually live together presently. You've been engaged since January 2023, and I understand there's an actual wedding date set.
Yes, Your Honor, August 26th.
How did it go so wrong, Ms. McKenzie? Because it sounds like it started out beautifully.
It did start out, great, but, I feel like he started using me. Basically, I've been paying the rent since we moved in together.
Okay, wait a minute. You've been living together now for 2 years.
Yes, Your Honor.
So you work outside of the home, correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
And you make the majority of the money in the family? Is that what it is?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, you told me that you're an artist, a model, and a veteran. So you make enough money putting all of those gigs together that you sustain the family?
Yes, Your Honor.
I don't know families that can sustain themselves on one income. Both my husband and me got to go to work every day. Robert, you and Chris go to work?
Absolutely.
Every single day. Go ahead, Ms.
Your
McKenzie.
Honor, I pay the rent, I pay the car, I pay everything, and I've been doing this for two years already. So, eventually I brought up, like, hey, it's something got to give,
Yes. So, Ms. McKenzie, I understand that there have been some questions about, borrowing money and all of that kind of stuff. So walk me through, Ms. McKenzie, what's been going on in your family?
So, along with me paying the rent, I brought up the fact that, he hasn't been contributing. And eventually, he said he'll pay the rent, fine. At least bare minimum, he'll pay the rent. Half of rent is $1,000. So time comes around, rent rolls around, time to pay the rent. He buys a Rolex instead.
What?
Doesn't come up with any of the money for the rent, and I had to get money from my family just to pay it off.
Oh, and I can guarantee you your family was not feeling that.
No, Your Honor, and I submitted the evidence as well.
I see the Rolex. And I see you flossing, Mr. Thomas.
It's an investment,
In what?
A Rolex. I got it because it was just an investment.
If Miss McKenzie didn't pay the rent, you would be a Rolex-wearing homeless dude, okay? I mean, Mr. Thomas, seriously, you cannot be looking at me and saying that you think that this is acceptable.
Your Honor, I just have an image to uphold.
An image? What's the image that you're upholding?
Well, I'm a photographer. I go to these industry events, so...
I think it's fair to say that I've probably been to more industry events than you have in the 32 years that I have been in the public eye.
I agree.
I probably know more celebrity photographers than the general public could ever say. And I've been photographed enough. I can't ever tell you what kind of watch a photographer who has taken my picture was wearing, because I don't care. That's not your job to be flossing at the event if you are a so-called celebrity photographer.
Your Honor, actually, to add into that, I feel like he's been using me because, you know, I had to borrow $5,000 from my mom, actually. And because,
for what purpose?
Because he said he wanted to buy new camera equipment. So I was like, you know what? This is how you make your money. I'll invest in it for you.
You borrowed the money from your mother.
Yes, Your Honor.
You gave the money to Mr. Thomas, or was it a loan?
So I let him hold it for the meantime. He said he was going to pay me back after his tax returns cleared. That didn't happen.
One second. Mr. Thomas, was that the agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
Cool.
So I gave him this $5,000 for this camera equipment. Camera equipment never was purchased. We actually have a management contract, and I give him 20% of everything I do.
This is a usurious contract, first of all. She has the right to rescind this agreement at any time. You do know that, right?
20% is 20%.
You literally told a lady that you were going to spend $5,000 on camera equipment and didn't do it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, you get the chance to tell me, Mr. Thomas, what that's about. Talk to me.
Well, at the end of the day, Your Honor, I feel like I do a lot already, you know. I take her to industry events. I bring her around the celebrities so that she could, you know, network and get her music out there, because she's an R&B artist. So I'm making sure she's good all the time.
You're making sure she's good how? Because holding down your woman...
Clothes, jewelry.
So, Your Honor, we actually have a management contract, and I give him 20% of everything I do. So all my bookings, all my gigs, I give him 20% on top of the money that I get.
Okay, the jurors behind you, ma'am, are about to go apoplectic. That you give... Can I please, may I see this management contract, please? Oh, dear Father. Miss McKenzie, why would you sign a management contract? Help me to understand why you did this.
Well, I feel like he kind of sold me a dream. He said he was going to bring me around celebrities, and, you know, he did do that. However, he hasn't gotten me any bookings.
Yeah, but
without
me, she'll be nothing, Your Honor. You know, I'm bringing her to these events, and she don't even network with them. She's actually flirting with them. She's not even...
Flirting?
Yeah.
And you give him 20% of your income?
Yes, Your Honor, and I'm tired because...
This is a usurious contract, first of all, meaning the percentage is out of the norm. True managers get 10%, just so you know.
20% is 20%.
Okay, but she has the right to rescind this agreement at any time. You do know that, right? She has the right to rescind this agreement because there is no exclusivity in this contract. You do realize that?
I did not, Your Honor.
There is no exclusivity because if you had exclusivity in the contract, it would say, whereas the artist has agreed to appoint the manager as artist's exclusive career manager upon and subject to the terms and conditions hereinafter set forth. That's when it says exclusive. This one does not say that. Since there is no exclusivity agreement, you can book deals on your own, you can have anybody else book deals, and you don't have to pay him $1. This contract is not worth the print that's on the paper. I'm sorry, Mr. Thomas.
No, she does. She still does.
No, she doesn't.
Judge said I don't owe you
More
anything.
importantly...
We did a verbal agreement.
More importantly, sue her. Get you a lawyer and sue her if she decides that she does not want to fulfill that contract.
Well.
And guess what? He can't afford no lawyer to go in there.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Your Honor, I'm bringing her to the events. She
Guess
can't
what?
get in without me.
Mr. Thomas, I don't want to be mean to you, but this is a beautiful child. She can roll into any event in New York and get anywhere she wants. It's you that got to worry about having credentials to get into the event. Because anytime she want to walk in to any event in New York, I can guarantee you the doorman's going to say, come on over here.
Nah,
now, that may not be the way she want to work it, but she don't have no problem. So you don't get to break her down. Not in this courtroom.
Yeah,
Don't you let anybody tell you that you need them to get ahead.
She needs me. I'll run New York.
Run New York.
Run New York? With what money?
Okay.
Your Honor, she was being such a groupie. She was out here flirting with Drake.
Wait, I'm sorry. I thought you said you took her to events trying to expose her for
Yes.
her career.
Yes, that night she was supposed to assist me.
Is that in the management contract also?
No.
If you'd like your case to be heard on divorce court, call us toll-free at 1-877-311-2222 or log on to our website at divorcecourt.com. Missed a show? Watch full episodes on our streaming platforms and follow us on social media for exclusive content. Tell me about the events that he has taken you to.
So we actually went to an industry party together. I was wearing my new glasses that my mom bought me for Christmas. It's bedazzled. They're really nice. It's not even frames in them. It's just, a little design. It's different. He wanted to be salty and be like, oh, those are ugly. And Drake walked up to me and was like, yo, those glasses are fire. And he was salty.
Because it was Drake, honey.
Your Honor, those glasses was trash. Drake
Didn't think so.
No, Drake lied. to
Drake
me.
didn't think so. And you know what?
No, wait. Drake might have been lying, but Drake thought she was fire enough to go up and say something. You see, she didn't need you to get to Drake. Drake rolled up on her.
She came in she wouldn't have got in without me anyways. So she would have never
Something
got.
tells me, and I don't know Drake, but if Drake had seen her standing out there on the line trying to get in, something tells me he would have rolled up on her and said, girl, those glasses are fire. Come and join me.
And Your Honor, he actually disrespected me in front of Drake. He called me a thought in front of Drake.
What part of this young lady is a thought?
Your Honor, she was being such a groupie. Like, she was supposed to be there to assist me, but instead she was out here flirting with Drake.
Wait, I'm sorry. I thought you said you took her to events because you were trying to expose her for
Yes.
her career.
Yes, that night she was supposed to assist me.
Is that in the management contract also?
No.
Do you pay her for assisting
No,
you?
Your Honor, he does not pay me a dime.
Oh, so she's supposed to assist you at the events that you take her to that are supposed to be events that can help increase her career. I'm just trying to keep it all together.
Yes, Your Honor. I mean, at the end of the day, she could still network while she's there
I
assisting
can't
me.
network because, Your Honor, he ruined my moment.
You're not there.
That could have turned into a collab. It could have turned into a repost, a cosign, and...
Flirt, you're not there to do all that. If you want to do business, you don't talk to the artist anyways. You talk to the manager.
Excuse me, not true. Not true at all.
Not true, because he
Not
walked
true
up
at
to
all.
me.
You never know what opportunity will arise. And I'm not talking theory, Mr. Thomas. I think you respect me enough to know I actually am speaking fact. Because
Yes,
I
Your Honor.
kind of do know a little something about this.
Yes, Your Honor. But she will still have to give me 20% anyway.
No, actually, she doesn't. You're standing there, instead of trying to fight for the woman, you're trying to fight for your 20%. That speaks to your character. Miss McKenzie, can you live on your own?
I can, Your Honor. I have been, actually.
Your mother's here
Yes,
to
she is,
testify.
Your Honor.
I'd like to ask her opinion. Robert, will you please ask the witness, Miss Michelle Lemons, to come in?
Sure.
Give her a second. I'm gonna teach y'all not to come to court in high heel shoes that you cannot walk in. Put on some teaks and keep it popping. Miss Lemons, please introduce yourself to the court.
Hi, Your Honor. I am Chasity McKenzie's mom.
Okay, fantastic. So you the one that's been footing some of these bills.
Oh, yes, ma'am.
So tell me a little bit more about Ms. McKenzie's relationship with Mr. Thomas, because you've been around for this entirety.
Well, Your Honor, first, I would like to say that, you know, there should be no ultimatum right now with Chasity and Breezy. She needs to leave him today. So the person giving the ultimatum is me. Either Chastity's going to stop dealing with him today, or I'm done. The bank is closed, my phone number is getting disconnected, you can't call me crying, I'm done.
That's a bit much.
I'm done. Okay, Breezy is a fake and a fraud, okay, and he is using my daughter. She is in the prime of her life right now. She's young, and he knows it, and that's the problem. He already passed his prime, and he still ain't doing nothing. So he is using and taking every bit of energy she got, and he's living off of it.
Did you hear your mother?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you disagree with her? Tell the truth.
No, I don't disagree. I agree, Your Honor.
Mr. Thomas, I don't hear you fighting for your relationship.
Your Honor, I think her mother should just mind her business.
It is her business. Don't want to hurt your feelings.
Nah, she should mind her business because she wish she had someone like me anyways.
Honestly, Mr. Thomas, I bless your
I
heart.
had somebody like him. I wish I had somebody that I give my money to that don't take care of me. As a man, you are supposed to be a provider. And I taught my daughter that she is to take care of no man.
Should have taught her how to clean and cook.
You know what, Mr. Thomas? This is a time that I'm going to give you a piece of advice on behalf of mothers everywhere. Just stand in your space and take this ass whooping, because this is not the time to come back at this woman about her child when you have been using this young lady. This is not the time. This is the time to sit here and figure out if there's a way that you can recapture your manhood in front of a courtroom full of people. To stand up and say, you're wrong about me. These are the things that I am trying to do. These are the things that I'm actually doing. This is what I have provided. But the fact that you cannot do that says to me that you are a gentleman who says, I demand respect, but sir, you don't command respect. A man walks in a room and commands respect by the man that he is, the character that he shows, the values that he possesses, his ability to take care of his family. You have not shown me any of that.
But she didn't teach her daughter anything, Your Honor.
Well, somebody should have taught you. I'm gonna teach you how to go clean that cardboard box, because without her, you wouldn't have a roof over your head. How about that? Go clean that little sidewalk on the street with your stuff that's gonna be on the curb when you get back to New York. Clean
Ms.
that.
McKenzie?
Yes, Your Honor.
You ready to move on with your life? Take the ring off, leave it right there, walk over there with your mama.
Yeah, I just wanna, did she pay for that ring? Because if she paid for that ring, she needs to bring
That's
it with
probably
her.
the first thing he did pay for, actually.
I love a mother.
I just wanna make sure she ain't paid for that ring.
Because the mama said pick it up.
You want the ring? Yeah, the ring.
Who paid for the ring?
He paid for the ring, Your Honor.
Get your pictures, your plants, and put them in a box. You out.
How you give him the $5,000 that I gave you? How you give him the $5,000 I gave you when you ain't paying your bills? I had to sit there and give you more money because you got your car repoed. How? How does that even work? If you don't leave him today, don't call me, don't ask me for nothing, nothing. I'm not dealing with it. I'm not dealing with it.
All right, he's done.
I'm not dealing with it.
Robert, talk about a user. He's standing up there sounding like Ike Turner. You wouldn't be nothing without me, Anime Bullock. Get the heck up out of here.
Incredible. Listen, you always have the great line, pictures in your plants. But he's so broke, he doesn't even have pictures in plants.
He sure doesn't. He may have a box.
Mm-hmm.
Low rent Beyonce and
With the
Jay-Z.
rollers. With the rollers.
Thank you.
Made in Georgia.